Hi everyone, how are you? My name is Alex Ginedinik, and I'm the creator of the Problemio business planning apps, and this video is going to be about how to think about your product when it's just a concept, and how to take that concept from concept to a real product, and at the same time how to grow your business from the idea stage to having a real growing business, right? So your product is probably the most important thing about your business, because if you don't have a product or service, then what will people pay for, right? Like, you have to do something, right? So what's important about the product is that it has to satisfy some need or do something for someone, right? It has to either educate, solve some problem, make someone's life somehow better, do something so that people will want it. And if they want it, they may pay for it, and that's your goal, right? But at the beginning, it's hard to know sometimes whether people will pay for it or not. So one thing you can do is test out the market and see if people, if they like the product. So in the beginning, you maybe don't have a prototype. You just have to sort of talk to people, get their ideas. It's very difficult to really explain clearly if you don't have an actual product. And so one of your goals is to have, there's such a thick concept as the minimum viable product. And it's a concept that someone named Eric Ries, I guess, came up with together with some other smart people. And it's a very, very effective way to determine whether the product which you have thought about is actually something that people will want, right? Like, you may have a great idea, but does anybody else think that it's great other than you and some friends you ask, right? So the minimal viable product is a way to create the minimal, so something very, very basic that people will be able to use and understand what you're doing, but at the same time, it's got to be viable, right? The viable part is that make sure that it's really reflective of your product. It's not ready yet. It's the version 1, but it has to at least work a little. And so it's minimum viable product, and you release that. And when you release that, you try to get as many people as possible to use it. I mean, not thousands, but like some, just so you can get a sense of how they're using it. And they'll find all kinds of flaws, and they'll find all kinds of problems, and they'll be like, oh, I wish it was better this way or that way, I don't like it. So what your job is to observe what they're doing, listen to the feedback, like not argue, but listen to the feedback, and then refine your product. Make it a little better, right? Solve all the problems, or at least many of the problems that people complained about in version 1. Make it a little better, and then release the product again. Okay, show it to the same people and some different people, some new people. They'll again tell you what's wrong. Oh, this I wouldn't buy it. They'll say like, oh, this is nice, but I wouldn't buy it for that reason or not. And if they're too nice, if they say, oh, this is great, then right away you say, is this something you would buy? And they say, maybe, yes. If they say yes, then you say, would you mind, if when this is out, when this is live, can I come to you and you become a customer? And that's a great way for people to commit, right? You get them to, you start selling right away. So that's kind of a popular trick that people use, but it's a little bit difficult to pull off in the actual in-person interaction. But the idea is that you constantly talk to people and get their feedback, and make sure they aren't just nice. If they're just being nice, then you start selling them. You think it's great, okay, buy it. So, and then they'll kind of they'll take a step back and like, well, maybe not, this is not the, and so you have to get the real story extracted from them. Why, what's wrong with them, with the product in their eyes. But the core idea, you give them something, the product, they'll tell you what's kind of why they wouldn't buy it or use it. You absorb that information, think about it, then refine your product accordingly, fix all those things, then the next iteration of the product is going to be better. And throughout the lifetime of your business almost, not just in the beginning stage, although this is exactly what you got to do in the beginning stage, but this is also something you got to do throughout the lifetime of your business. continue this process. Continue making your product better, because your product is so important. Because if your product quality is good, your customers will love you, they'll recommend it to friends, they will not go and use your competitors' products. There is a tremendous number of benefits, right? As opposed to if your customers, if you don't focus on the product, if you don't continuously improve the product, your competitors will quickly start making something better. Your customers will look elsewhere and they won't be happy with your solution, and they'll be forced to look elsewhere for the solution. So what you want to do is, your product is unbelievably important, and the quality of every product is unbelievably important. And to make it better is exactly this cycle of minimal viable product, listen to feedback, change the product, release it better. So that's how you improve your product in the beginning stage and throughout the lifetime of your company. Thank you for watching. I hope that's been helpful. If it was helpful, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, as always, I'd be delighted if you checked out my mobile apps. They're at problemio.com, and the apps cover business planning, marketing, fundraising, business ideas, generally the issues entrepreneurs face and struggle with and need help with. And of course, the apps are available on iOS, Kindle, iPhone, all those platforms. So anyway, see you in my next video. Bye.